My name is Clara, and I've always prided myself on my independence. As a software engineer, I've built a stable career while balancing the demands of raising my 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Life had its challenges, but we managed well. I never expected the biggest challenge would come from within my own family. After my husband, Mark, passed away in a car accident 3 years ago, it was just Lily and me navigating our way through grief and rebuilding our lives. Mark's mother, Diane, stepped in shortly after his death, claiming she wanted to help us. At first, I appreciated her presence. She cooked meals, picked Lily up from school, and helped around the house. But as the months turned into years, Diane's presence became less about support and more about control. She began inserting herself into every decision I made: what Lily should eat, where she should go, and even how I should manage my job. The tension reached a breaking point one Friday evening. I had promised Lily a special mother-daughter movie night, complete with popcorn and her favorite Disney film. As I set up the living room, Diane walked in with a frown. "Clara, I've been meaning to talk to you," she began, her voice heavy with disapproval. "It's not healthy for Lily to spend so much time on these silly movies. She should be doing something productive, like practicing piano or reading." I tried to remain calm. "Diane, it's been a long week for both of us. This is our way of unwinding and spending quality time together." But Diane wasn't satisfied. She turned to Lily, who was clutching her favorite blanket. "Don't you want to be a smart girl, Lily? Watching movies all the time won't help you achieve anything." Lily's face fell, and I felt my patience wearing thin. "Diane, please don't make her feel bad about something she enjoys. This is our night." Diane sighed dramatically and left the room, muttering under her breath about how modern parenting was ruining children. I ignored her, but the seed of discomfort had been planted. Over the next few weeks, Diane's criticisms grew more frequent and harsher. She'd comment on how I dressed Lily, the food I cooked, and even my choice to keep working instead of being a proper stay-at-home mom. One evening, she sat me down with a stern expression. "Clara, I think it's time for you to reconsider your priorities," she said. "You're spending too much time on your career and not enough on Lily. A child needs a mother who is fully present." I took a deep breath, trying to keep my voice steady. "Diane, my job is what keeps this household running. It's how I provide for Lily, and I'm always there for her when she needs me." "Is that so?" she replied, raising an eyebrow. "Because it seems to me that you're more interested in your next promotion than in raising your daughter." That comment cut deep, but I refused to let Diane see the hurt it caused. "I'm doing the best I can, Diane. I need you to trust me on this." Trust was the last thing Diane seemed willing to give. A few days later, she made a shocking announcement. "I've decided to sell my house and move in with you permanently. It'll be easier for me to help with Lily that way." I was stunned. "Diane, I appreciate your help, but this is our home. I don't think it's a good idea for you to move in." She looked genuinely hurt. "Are you saying you don't want me here? After everything I've done for you and Lily?" The guilt trip was expertly delivered, and I found myself faltering. Before I could respond, she added, "Mark would have wanted me to be here to support you." That was the final blow. Diane moved in the following week, bringing with her an endless supply of opinions and unsolicited advice. The peaceful home Lily and I had worked so hard to create was quickly unraveling. One Saturday, I planned a trip to the zoo for Lily and me. She'd been excited about it all week. As we were getting ready, Diane announced, I've invited my friend Margaret over for tea. Lily should stay and meet her. It's important for her to learn how to interact with adults. I clenched my fists. Diane, we've been planning this trip for days. Lily deserves to enjoy her weekend. Diane's face darkened. You're spoiling her, Clara. She'll grow up thinking life is all about entertainment. Lily looked at me with pleading eyes. Mom, can we still go? I placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Of course, sweetie. We're going. Diane was furious, but I didn't care. That day at the zoo, I realized how important it was to stand my ground for Lily's sake. The final straw came when Diane began undermining my authority with Lily. One evening, as I tucked Lily into bed, she whispered, "Grandma says you're too busy to take care of me and that she'll always be there for me." My heart sank. I knew I had to confront Diane. The next morning, I found her in the kitchen. "Diane, we need to talk," I began. She crossed her arms, clearly expecting a confrontation. "What about?" "I know you've been telling Lily things that make her question my love for her," I said. "That's unacceptable." Diane didn't deny it. "I'm only doing what's best for her. She needs stability, and you're too distracted with work to provide it." The anger I'd been suppressing finally boiled over. "I am Lily's mother, and I make the decisions for her. Your interference is causing more harm than good. If you can't respect that, maybe it's time for you to find somewhere else to live." For the first time, Diane seemed taken aback. "You'd throw me out? After everything I've done?" "I'm asking you to respect our boundaries," I said firmly. "If you can't do that, then yes, you'll need to leave." The tension was palpable, but I felt a newfound strength. I wasn't going to let Diane control our lives any longer. In the weeks that followed, Diane's behavior shifted. She stopped criticizing me openly and began spending more time with friends. Eventually, she found a new place to live, claiming she needed more space for herself. Lily and I finally had our home back, and the peace was indescribable. One evening, Lily and I sat down to review her school project about her favorite memories. To my surprise, she drew pictures of us laughing at the zoo and having movie nights. "Mom, I like when it's just us," she said softly. It was a small statement, but a monumental moment for me. It confirmed I was making the right decisions for our family. However, life took another unexpected turn. Diane's departure didn't completely remove her influence. She began visiting every weekend, often unannounced, critiquing minor things like the way I decorated or the snacks I prepared for Lily. During one of these visits, Diane brought up something unsettling. "Clara, I've noticed Lily is spending too much time with her friends. She needs to focus on her studies," she declared, glancing disapprovingly at Lily's art supplies scattered on the floor. "Diane, she's a child. Playing and exploring are part of her growth," I said, trying to mask my irritation. But Diane continued to insist she knew better. That evening, I realized that setting boundaries wasn't enough. I needed to fully assert my role in Lily's life. I sat Lily down and explained, "Sweetheart, sometimes Grandma has strong opinions, but you and I make decisions together. Always come to me if you feel unsure." Lily nodded, and her trust in me was palpable. It gave me the strength to handle Diane's interference more assertively. One weekend, Diane's usual visit took an unexpected turn. She brought along a surprise guest, a child psychologist she'd hired without my consent. "I thought it would be good for Lily to talk to someone about Mark and other things," Diane announced smugly. I was livid but kept my composure for Lily's sake. Diane, I appreciate your concern, but these decisions are mine to make. You've overstepped, I said firmly. The psychologist, sensing the tension, politely excused herself, leaving Diane flustered. After that incident, I made it clear to Diane that her unannounced visits needed to stop. If you want to see Lily, we can arrange times that work for all of us, I told her. Eventually, Diane's visits became less frequent. Lily and I reclaimed our weekends, spending them exploring new places, trying new recipes, and simply enjoying each other's company. Looking back, I've learned that family dynamics can be challenging, but they also teach resilience. Diane's actions pushed me to grow as a mother and an individual. I've become more confident in my choices, and Lily has blossomed in an environment filled with love and understanding. Life isn't perfect, but it's ours, and that's all that matters.